Hello and welcome to AJ Storytime channel for kids. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you receive the notifications of when I'm reading live. Today we have some amazing books to be reading. And please, if you're new to my channel, before you leave, don't forget to subscribe. The first book we are reading is called The Curious Garden by Peter Brown. I have to admit, I read this book so many times, and every time I read it, I discovered something amazing. It's such a wonderful book to read to the kids, and if the kids know how to read, they should read it too. So, if you're ready, let's get started. The Curious Garden by Peter Brown. There once was a city without gardens or tree or greenery of any kind. Most people spend their time indoors. As you can imagine, it was very dreary place. However, there was one boy who loved being outside. Even on drizzly days while everyone else stayed inside, you could always find Leon happily splashing through his neighborhood. It was on one such morning that Leon made several surprising discoveries. He was wandering around the old railway, as he did from time to time when he stumbled upon a dark stairwell leading up to the tracks. The railway had stopped working ages ago, and since Leon had always wanted to explore the tracks, there was only one thing for the curious boy to do. Liam ran up the stairs, pushed open the door, and stepped out onto the railway. The first thing he saw was a lonely patch of color. Wildflowers and plants were the last things he had expected to find up there. But when he took a closer look, it became clear that the plants were dying. They needed a gardener. Liam may not have been a gardener, but he knew that he could help. So he returned to the railway the very next day and got to work. The flowers nearly drowned, and he had a few pruning problems, but the plants patiently waited while Liam found better ways of gardening. As the weeks rolled by, Liam began to feel like a real gardener, and the plants began to feel like a real garden. Most gardens stay in one place, but this was no ordinary garden. With miles of open railway ahead, the garden was growing restless. It wanted to explore. The tall little weeds and mosses were the first to move. They popped up farther and farther down the tracks and were closely followed by the more delicate plants. Over the next few months, Leon and the curious garden explored every corner of the railway. Look at that, how beautiful. Wow, look at that. And he keeps exploring and exploring and growing and growing. After spending his spring, summer, and autumn in the garden, Leon's time on the railway was finally interrupted by winter. Heavy blankets of snow fell on the city that season, and for the first time since he became a gardener, Leon could not visit the plants. Rather than waste his winter worrying about the garden, Leon spent it preparing for spring. After 3 cold months, the snow finally began to melt, and Leon rolled his new gardening gear over to the railway. Winter had taken a toll on the garden. But thanks to Leon's planning, his handy new tools, and a little help from the sun, the plants soon awoke from their winter sleep. The garden had always wanted to explore the rest of the city, and that spring it was finally ready to make its move. Once again, the tall little weeds and mosses set out first, They pop up farther and farther from the railway, very close, followed by the more delicate plants. The garden was especially curious about all things that had been forgotten. A few plants pop up where they didn't belong. Others mysteriously pop up all at once. But the most surprising things that pop up were the new gardeners. And everyone started to enjoy the garden. Look at that. So beautiful. They even made shades from trees. Many years later, the entire city has blossomed, but of all the new gardens, Leon's favorite was where it all began. And this is where he is. And now the city that was very lonely is a beautiful city with a lot of plants. That's how I want to see my garden in my backyard, right? I have another book for you. It's called The Rabbit. Listen, by Corey Dorfield. One day, Taylor decided to build something new, something special, something amazing. Taylor was so proud. But then, out of nowhere, look at what happened, guys. Things came crashing down. Oh, poor Taylor. Look at his face. He must be very sad right now. The chicken was the first to notice. Next came the bear. Roar, roar, horrible. I bet you feel so angry. Let's shout about it. Grah, grah. But Taylor didn't feel like shouting. So the bear left. The elephant knew just what to do. Tumba, tumba, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the way things were. But Taylor didn't feel like remembering. So the elephant also left. One by one they came. The hyena, hee 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 hee, let's laugh about it. The ostrich, gulp, let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo, tsk, tsk, what a mess, let's throw it all away. And the snake, shh, let's go knock down someone else. But Taylor didn't feel like doing anything with anybody. So eventually they all left. Until Taylor was alone. In the quiet, Taylor didn't even notice the rabbit. But it moved closer and closer until Taylor could feel its warm body. Together they sat in silence until Taylor said, "Please, stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened as Taylor talked. The rabbit listened as Taylor shouted. The rabbit listened as Taylor remembered and laughed. The rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to hide, to throw everything away, to ruin things for someone else. Through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, the rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to build again. "I cannot wait," Taylor said. "It's going to be amazing." The end. So you see, sometimes people just need somebody to listen. Our next book is called Bunnies by Gail Gibson. There are wild bunnies and tame bunnies. Many bunnies have big ears. They all have fur and a small tail. Most bunnies have some white on their short fluffy tail. There are big bunnies and small bunnies. Different breeds of bunnies can look very different from each other. Hop, 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 bunnies get around by using their powerful hind legs. Bunnies can see better in the dark than people can. And sniff, 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 a rabbit's nose wiggle as it smells all around it. When an enemy appears, a wild bunny may stay very still, not to be noticed, or it may run away. In the spring and summer, wild bunnies eat leafy plants like clover and grass. Biting and chewing help wear down their front teeth, which are always growing. Pet bunnies eat lettuce, hay, and especially carrots. Baby bunnies are called kits. And this is the story about bunnies. I have one more book for you. It's called Dear Bunny, written by Katie Cotton. I love bunny stories. I don't know about you, but I love bunny stories because the bunnies are so cute, right? Dear Bunny, today you ask me, what is your favorite thing in the world? I like so many things. I decided to write them all down. I like the mornings when you wake me up and help me find my shoes and socks. You always know which ones are my favorite. I like breakfast, and so do you. I think oatmeal is the yummiest, but you like toast and jam. You always blow on my oatmeal so it's not too hot. That's because you are a very nice bunny. When we have finished eating, I like going to the swings. You never mind that I can go higher than you. I will push you up and then you can go high too. I like when we play together, kicking leaves and throwing balls and climbing trees. It's so much fun to play. But sometimes I like it when we sit and watch. I like going to the zoo, lots and lots, but sometimes I get scared of the chimpanzee. You are the bravest bunny I know, and when you hold my hand, I feel braver too. I like the end of the day because then it's bath time and we always play splashing. I always like it too. But sometimes I can splash too hard and then I have to say, sorry. I like laughing with you lots, but I like that you are there when I'm sad too. I think maybe my favorite thing is when we look at the stars. Someday we will count them all. Or maybe my favorite thing is a story time. I like your stories. They are very good and they give me good dreams. Dear Bonnie, I have decided I like all the things we do together. But my favorite thing in the world is you. The end. Oh, that was such a beautiful story, right, guys? Do you have a bunny that you love a lot? I hope that you enjoyed the story time for today. We read Dear Bunny, we read Bunnies, The Rabbit That Listened, and The Curious Garden. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I see you next time. Goodbye.